Hi, this is Tweak. We all love to recycle, don't we? Well, how would you like to go through that recycle bin before you put it out by the curb and pull out something that you can recycle into something a little more fun? Let's say we take out an old water garden jug and turn it into a monster. What do you think? It's a lot of fun. I'll show you how. Join me. This project all began when I wanted to make something to hold party favors at a birthday party. So I came up with a Water Jug Monster. He's very cute. What I didn't know is that an item I thought would last a day with a bunch of children running around and using it would last nearly a year, and it has. So I thought, why not make another one? Water Jug Monster. We're going to start by covering the jug in felt. So we begin by cleaning the jug, and first, before I put on the felt, I do need to cut a hole in the front where the mouth will go. So using a Sharpie, I'm going to take this jug and just make a rough cut. And you very carefully then cut out the hole. The hole is set, jug is ready, it's clean. Now we're going to cover it in felt. We're going to put enough fabric down that will cover the jug, the whole side of the monster, the jug, to be down on the fabric, and then I'm going to pull up on either side and glue. It might seem like way too much fabric, but it all works out. So I'm going to take my glue gun and run a bead of glue very generously along the plastic jug back. And then we're just going to line up the jug so it's even on the bottom. It doesn't overlap on the bottom. We're just going to pull up the fabric. Pull it up and just let it stick. The glue will be dry. We can flap this back and you can see the glue has adhered to the jug. And we're going to do the other side. And pull up the side, make sure you're lined up on the bottom. And pull the fabric. Now I've got two sides that are going to turn into fins. We've brought the pieces up. It's more than we need to cover the jug, but that's what we wanted. And I'll tack that down next. Using more glue, I'm going to meet these two together and see if we can line up the top here a little bit and then press down into the glue. So what you're ending up with is, this is where the fins or the back's going to be. So what I want to do now is tuck in these sides. I've added a liberal amount of glue with hot glue gun, and I'm going to tuck in. It's like your hands are going to go through the handle and meet the best you can so that that fabric gets tucked in around the handle. And you can see what's happening now is you're going to, in the end, have a nice place to grab the monster. We need to cut a hole where the mouth is. I'm going to take the scissors and poke a hole. And then I'm going to feel for the mouth area and just go to the corners the best you can. I've opened up the mouth area and I'm going to reach inside and add glue and tuck all this fabric in. Here we go. And you can see what's happening here. It's turning out quite nice. Last flap. This is at the top of the mouth where there's some curve. So we're just going to add a liberal amount of glue, flip it under, and tack it. Okay, there's where we are right now. All this excess just works in to make your monster unique. Every single monster turns out differently. We have different sizes of fabric, we have different colors, we have different jugs. So I am going to just very, again, liberally add glue to any part of the plastic that I still see remaining. I'm going to tuck the fabric into it. So here we go. Tuck, tuck, tuck. However you want it, all turns out great in the end. We've secured the back end, but I still see places that have plastic showing, so I'm going to add more glue and just keep working at it until the fabric adheres and you see no more plastic. here's what we got so far. We've got his body covered, his mouth is all smooth. Put your hand in there and feel that there's nothing gonna come back out on you. And the top has got a nice little crown of some sorts here. That part is done. I don't want to work on the mouth. And what I'm going to do here is just take a random piece of color, whatever felt you like, cut around the area where the mouth is. I'm using the mouth right here on the bottle as a guide. What I'm going to do next is cut a hole in the center. So now we have, ooh, pretty good look, huh? We've got lips that I'm going to glue around the edge to hold it in place. Here comes the glue. Lips. I'm going to stick my hand in there to make sure I don't feel anything that would come loose. Next we need a tongue. Again, red. I'm just going to eyeball the width of the mouth. What you're going to do is cut out a tongue and just tuck it on the inside so it flaps in and out. What I'm going to do is take a Sharpie and just put a line down the center and tack it in. I'm going to put a liberal amount of glue on the felt. This project takes a lot of glue, but it's well worth it. Pressing the felt down on the inside of the plastic of the bottle, and you have even a little bit of wrinkly in the tongue. There we go, our tongue. Next come the teeth. Here's where we take some foam. So I cut it in half and put some teeth in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it looks like 6 teeth. And what I'm going to do is go on the inside of the monster and glue the teeth in. So you can see what that's going to look like. Just really slap the glue in there. This part gets used a lot. As the little hands go in and out of the mouth, they come in contact with the teeth. So I am placing the teeth in there. I had 6 teeth cut. They might not all show, but when somebody snarls at you, do all your teeth show? So I went ahead and added teeth. Those are pretty funny. As I go in and come out, I want the foam to stay. And right now it's not staying over on the one side, so I'm gonna add more glue. Okay, so I'm gonna, come on. Oh, monster, oh, you bit me. You're gonna be a mean monster, I think. You never know until you get the teeth in how mean he's gonna be. The teeth are working really well. You want your hand to go in and out. You want those teeth to stay in place. This tongue's way bigger, and why not? What I want to do next is cut up felt to make this ripply front and sides. We have got our tongue attached. We're going to flip it out of the way. He doesn't mind, he doesn't choke on anything. We've got the space here to fill, and what I want to do is take felt pieces, squares that I've cut in half, and I measured them to the front of the bottle. And that's where I'm going to adhere, come right up under his lip, and take the first color, whatever color you like. I just randomly chose colors, and I'm going to glue him liberally to the base of the body. Measure up, go underneath his lip, and pull the fabric and attach that. Looks good. I'm going to cut it off at the base. What I need to do now is layer the other fabrics on. Here again, I'm start under the lip, little bit. So you're going to have like a stripe under his lip. You can see that there. But I'm going to cut each one shorter and shorter so that we're going to shred it, and then you'll have a weird looking monster on the front. So here we go. So I've added 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 colors of felt and put them at different levels so that now that they're fixed, I can shred them. I've got my layers of felt, I've shredded it. I think it looks pretty good. Now I want to go through and make sure everything's tacked down properly. These are all tacked down really well, but the ones on the side are not. So I'm going to go after them with some glue. The bottom, where all this is sticking up, I'm going to get that all tacked down. So here we go. So to recap for a minute, we've got our bodies covered. His fins are emerging, and we've got this front covered, and that can be all as wavy and as thick or as thin as you wish to cut it. That's where some of the fun comes in. You personalize it for yourself. Next, we're going to the fins on the side. So I take a piece of fabric. It doesn't have to be complementary to what his body is, but that's what I used. And take a piece of fabric, just randomly cut. It doesn't have to be even because all the unevenness makes it look better. And I'm going to come to the center and just pull and just tuck. And you end up with this cool looking mess that ends up being a very neat fin. So before I attach it to there, make sure it's as wiggly jiggly as you want it to be. I'm going to put a few dots of glue. It's almost like folding up a napkin. A little dot of glue in there. So when he sits on the body, he's going to stay in that form you want it to be in. So I'm just going to tack on the inside just here and yon, and you've got a fin like this. And then I'm just going to get a bunch of glue and just tack them real tight just in the bottom there, because I want it to be flopsy. I'm going to come, that's the end of the body, I'm going to come right about to the top of where his mouth is. Come in a little bit, put a liberal amount of glue. There's no wrong way to do this. We'll just say fish have fins that are equal on both sides. Some have them only on the top or the bottom. I'm going to hold that tight. Let the glue set, and you've got one of his fins. I might have to come back to that and tack it down a little more. Do the other side. Grab it in the center, shake it. Ooh, this one turned out even better. We want to add a little bit of fringe like we did on front. So I'm just going to take a few cuts, not a lot, just a few. Just randomly cut. And you get a real funny looking little fin, which I think is absolutely fine. Ooh, that's nice. So let's do it the other side. Work with it till you like it, and it's going to stay on the body. All set. We've got fins. Now we need eyeballs. So now we're going to use the extra fabric that was sticking out top that we kind of glued inside the nozzle of the bottle, and we're going to flap that down in a way that kind of sets up a place where the eyeballs would be. So this would be the fin in the back. We're going to shred that in a bit, and we just work with the fabric. I'm going to pinch it together right here first with some glue. And this here, you're just going to mess around with the fabric until you find a place that looks like it would nestle. And I think that there, ooh, almost looks like a creepy nose, and a place for the eyeballs to rest. We're preparing the eye sockets, as one would say, and we can just glue it down, glue. And then we'll glue on the eyeballs. Eyeballs are fun because how many eyeballs would you like? I think the one I showed you initially had 4 or 5, and there again, most fish have 2, but this is a monster. You can have as many eyeballs as you'd like to have. So we've got a little nestling spot. For eyeballs, I took round pieces of wood, and I glued a googly eye on the top. And then I come around here and I think, well, where do I want these eyeballs to sit? Do I want 2 eyes like that? Or we could put more than 1 eye. We could put 3 eyes if you really want it to look monster-like. So whatever suits your fancy. I've got 5 eyeballs to play with here. Let's see what we like. We've got his eyeballs set. That was all on the fly. I didn't know he was going to have 5 eyeballs. I mean, I knew there was a possibility. And next we are going to shred his fin that goes up the back. Here we go. So you saw me shred, and I like the look of it shredded even more. Next we're going to embellish between the eyes and on the sides. This is fun. This is when you take what you've got kicking around the house. I took some caps off of juice jars and juice jugs and turned them into little beaded designs that will affix onto the side of the monster, just wherever you think it looks nice. Let's see, set him hither and yon. Oh, he's going to be pretty ornate, isn't he? Let's see. I'm going to go with something like that. I'm going to put 4 on each side. I'm going to go around his fin. Ooh, he's getting pretty. I'd like to work a little bit around his eyes. So I've got some pom-poms here. Oh, it makes him look a little more menacing, doesn't it? Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Eyes, good. Teeth, tongue. Side needs a little more. Fins are good, so I've got some little pieces of wood that I can add. This is cool. It's going to be like he has spikes coming out of his eyeballs, so let's do that. Ooh, I found these little fakey jewels that really make him stand out. When it makes you smile, you know you're on the right track. And does he need something for this eyeball? Ooh, doesn't he need a pom-pom for that eyeball too? A pom-pom and a spike? I think so. Our monster needs a little more, an extra touch. He seems a little thin, so let's fatten him up a little bit. I took some of the same fabric, the felt that I used on his body, and I cut 2 strips that measured the side and shredded each edge by folding it over and just cut to shred it. Now I'm going to put a line of glue down the center of each, and I'm going to close this off. This can be really, really random. You can make it higher in one area, lower in another. This is just going to be another little frill we're adding. And I'm going to take that in the center, it's going to frill out, and then I'll just attach it. Add some volume. Ooh, like him. I want to do something with the top, right above his head. He needs like eyebrows or hair. So I took another piece and measured it across that distance, shredded it. I'm going to do the same thing where I go down the center with 1 long bead of glue, tack it up on itself, willy-nilly random, doesn't matter if one side's longer than the other, we don't care. Just get it attached to each other, and you get the effect of a car wash, hey! And there you have it. Our monster is now completed. And isn't he cute? This is just household stuff. Caps and fake jewels and felt in a water bottle. And what do you do with them? If you want to, I'll show you what we do with our other one. He's the older one. He's been around. I did learn in making this first one that tinsel is not a food group for kids. The little one tries to eat that, and that's not good. So this guy had no tinsel on him. But what we like to do with him is fill him with balls. And we knock him on the side and use his teeth to count. 1, 2, 3, 4. You get the idea. So ours is used here for hanging onto the balls. It's really nice. The kids can reach in and get the balls out, And it's actually kind of fun. You can use the tongue. If you tuck in the tongue, then the balls won't fall out. That works out very nicely. So there you have it. You have our monster. That's good for storing things. He's interesting and he's fun, and he doesn't chase the kids around, so you don't have to worry about that. So if you like what you saw today, give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment if you'd like to. I'd love to hear it. See you next time.